This is the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Eagles and all the news around the NFL. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by the Philadelphia Protestant Home, Rob's Automotive and Collision, SEPTA, The Capitol Grill, Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, Ventresca's Custom Clothing, Chickies and Pete's, Begley, Carlin, and Mandio Law Firm, Hand and Stone Spa, Penworth Financial Services, BCWSA, and CJ's Tire and Automotive. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Here we are at Chickies and Pete's in Warrington, and the Super Bowl is approaching.
Here we are, Merrill.
What a season this has been, Bob Grotz.
Yeah. Wow. They just Eagles just steamrolled through those, and those two teams in the playoffs. And Merrill, it's looking good.
Well,
I mean, you look at the matchup. It looks good.
Don't start getting ahead of ourselves.
Why not? That's what we do.
Let me tell you something. We have a guest tonight. I want to introduce our guest. He was former Eagles defensive end or linebacker or
more end than anything else.
Yep. First round draft pick, and he has remained in the Philadelphia area, and I'm proud to call him a friend. Let's have a nice welcome for Mike Mamula.
Glad to be here, Merrill. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here, Mike. You know, I talk about the playoff run, and they were two one-sided games. I mean, total annihilations. But the first game, they were just the Giants were overmatched. You could not. They were nowhere near as good as the Eagles. The Eagles beat them 3 times this season, and they had that last game where they put in their backups, and Jalen Hurts just had to go through the motions to show that he was getting healthy. But there was no comparison between the Eagles and the New York Giants. The second game was different, and here's where it's different. I've been broadcasting the games now, I say 100 years, but it's really only 46 years. I started when I was 14. So in all of these years, I have never done a game where for a whole half, the entire second half, the Eagles' opponent was incapable, not unable, incapable of throwing a ball more than 5 yards.
Yeah, that was sad. I mean, we've all been on the other side of the coin when we've been that San Francisco team, so it's so great to see that we are now on the right side of that.
Yeah.
And a couple of officiating
that's it, the whole
calls.
thing.
It all came together. Yeah, right.
Smooth sailing.
Yeah, but see, I think the 49ers defense in the second half was just so frustrated and so desperate that's what led to their penalties.
Yeah, being on that side must have been very hard. Just knowing that it's going to be a 3 and out, and you have no chance of scoring any points, and you have to then be the catalyst to try to make something happen.
What is that like, Mike? I mean, you had a couple times, a couple years where the quarterbacks, they went through this guy and that. There were injuries, and
yeah, I mean,
what is that like?
Yeah,
that's chance to score points.
Typical amount of plays is probably like 55, 60. In those games, you're playing 80-plus plays, and that's crazy.
That's what happened, too.
Exactly.
That defense just wore out, yeah.
I honestly thought that it was a terrible job of preparation by Kyle Shanahan, their coach. I think he is an overrated coach. I think he committed one of the worst coaching mistakes ever in the Super Bowl against New England, when he was the offensive coordinator of the Falcons. They were up 28-3, and he stopped passing. He shut it down, and that was when the Patriots came from all the way behind to win it overtime. I don't know how he ever got a head coaching job.
Well, I think he's been doing a pretty good job with Purdy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got him in the right positions all the time to be able to be successful. It just happens that they ran into an Eagles defense that was saying no.
Well, yeah. but tell me this, Mike. All right, he had bad luck in that their first-round draft pick, Trey Lance, was hurt in the second game of the season. And Garoppolo did a pretty good job, but then he ended up getting hurt. And so it was necessary for the guy they call Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the entire draft, Brock Purdy, to step in with 6 games to go, and they won behind him. He gave him just enough to do to manage a game. They won 6 straight. They won 2 in the playoffs. But they came into this, And his backup, Josh Johnson, he didn't join the team until December the 6th. Going into this game, Josh Johnson had thrown 2 passes. He was 1 for 2 going into this game. Can you go into a game with Josh Johnson and that limited experience as your only alternative to Brock Purdy?
So, hindsight's 20/20 for them, but it doesn't sound like a recipe for success. That's for sure.
No. And
Merrill, they weren't going to win the game with that quarterback anyway.
See, I disagree.
They were not.
No,
yeah.
See,
and Hassan Reddick. I mean, come on. The first.
Let me tell you.
The third or fourth play, the first series. I mean, that was going to happen all day.
Mike,
if he had not hurt his elbow, he would have been sacked like 15 times.
I think you're projecting something because he wasn't. He was very elusive against other teams. Here's the thing. When the Eagles hit him, when Hassan Reddick hit him and he left the game, for the next 3 possessions, the Eagles were 1, 2, 3 and out. And that game was tied at 7-7. I'm not saying the 49ers would have beaten them, but I'm saying that had Brock Purdy stayed upright and with the ability to throw, it would have been a competitive game into the fourth quarter. It was a great Sunday. It was an exciting Sunday because of the significance of the event. It was a great event, but a horrible football game.
Awful football game. Absolutely. I mean, everybody wanted to see what would happen when both teams have a quarterback.
Yeah, had a quarterback.
But that didn't happen.
Mike,
So
I got to say this, Mike. In the locker room that week, and you've been on teams where you knew you were going to win, right? You just knew it.
Yeah.
You knew that week, you knew that was going to be a win. All you had to do was go out and do your job. That's how the Eagles were the entire week. I've never seen them so loose. Before the 49ers, very loose. They were just wondering what the score was. I mean, they were going to do their work.
I have been around Eagles teams that were loose and wondering how much they were going to win by, and then came the game and they fell flat on their face. It's not always an indicator of what the team's mood is. You've been on teams. Do you think the team's mood during the week reflects what's going to happen?
It definitely helps out, but the same thing is going on in the other team. So they're probably feeling the same way. So somebody's going to get let down, like Jason Kelsey's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But just what you were talking about, Mike, with when and this was after the injuries, but after that first series, I mean. That pass rush of the Eagles it's such a mismatch.
It was so great to see.
You could see that, right?
Yeah, it was so great to see. And then moving on, it's going to be awesome to see in the Super Bowl.
Well, it is.
With a quarterback not at 100%.
Licking their chops.
Really smart, though. But very smart. This is going to be the all-time matchup here.
Oh, I think it's a classic.
Andy Reid,
I think it's a classic.
Look for some jump passes by a defensive lineman. You know what I mean? Like he's going to pull out all the stops and.
Yeah, Andy's like his tree's coming to life, and he's on the top of it again as far as the game.
Well, now here's a question. Here's a question for you. Why didn't Shanahan, if he's such a great coach, have at least a package together where Christian McCaffrey, and I've seen him on many occasions throw the ball, throw the halfback pass. I've seen Christian McCaffrey put it in the air 50 yards. Why didn't he have some kind of a package where Christian McCaffrey could have lined up in a shotgun and run some RPOs? He would have had a much better chance of getting first downs than either running the ball or going with the reverses.
Well, you only have a certain amount of plays, a certain amount of time you can do things in practice, and he's still dealing with a rookie quarterback.
And he had a calf too. He didn't practice much.
So
but you're right. That would have been interesting, wouldn't it? That would have been fun. I mean,
listen. I just think he did a very poor job. And I'm happy he did.
Yeah.
Well,
you're absolutely right. And it wasn't just, just the protections for this guy.
Bobby,
against the Eagles' pass rush.
Have you ever seen a team take as many delay of games?
Well, that was Josh Johnson, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, the American Alliance of Football, are they coming back? Oh, no, that's another. Well, another football league's coming back. You'll be able to see Josh Johnson there. I think so.
Josh Johnson has now played for 14 teams. I wonder if during the concussion, I didn't say this on the air.
Sean must be jealous.
That's a tough one.
I wonder if during the concussion he was wondering, let me just see, which team am I with right now?
Wow.
It's like a comedian going on tour.
Yeah. Hello, Detroit.
Boo! You're
And
in
he
Philly.
did the best he could, but you're right. They did not have. There was no backup plan. I didn't even like the A plan. Putting him out there in those protections, that was ridiculous.
Well, and there was one play where Josh Johnson went back, and George Kittle was standing over on the right side. He never looked that way. George Kittle had nobody near him, and he had 60 yards of grass right in front of him. Did you see that play?
I think I know what you're
and
talking
Kittle
about.
started waving his arms and jumping up and down. He couldn't believe
That's
it.
much too late, though.
Johnson went out there. It was like D-Day.
Oh,
He didn't know what to do.
How about the 49ers trying to block Hassan Reddick with a running back? Give me a break. I mean,
Every time.
that's how
Love
the
it.
quarterback got hurt. He twisted his arm like a pretzel, Not intentionally, but wow.
It was funny on the on the air when they were prolonging it, saying, "Oh, he may come back. He may come back."
Yeah.
And he had this like.
You're
big,
right.
I'm like,
It was going the wrong way.
like, that guy's not coming
yeah,
back.
right,
No,
right.
no,
What
he
do you
wasn't
think of
coming.
Reddick? I mean,
Amazing.
can't-
Like that one sack that he had when he fell on the guy.
Uh-huh.
I'm convinced that was a fumble, sack
Okay.
fumble, because they just and then it got kind of evened out when Smith missed that pass, but really counted. So
I cannot remember an edge rusher like him. Hugh Douglas was good, but he's not. Hassan Reddick is just a different breed. I mean, he's just
he was pretty different himself.
more explosive.
It still is.
Yeah.
He's now a midday host on WIP.
I know.
Yeah. Were you
Love
guys
Hugh.
friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Hugh's got this huge. Hugh has a huge beard and nothing up there. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, Bob.
yeah.
And I wouldn't say that around you, for sure.
No.
Or,
No.
or you'll have nothing below the neck.
He drives this huge truck too. that,
Yeah.
It takes up like 8 spots in the media lot. Yeah.
But, getting back, Bob and I were honored and fortunate enough to host the show early in the season, and Hassan Reddick came on as our guest.
That's
And-
awesome.
And he's a great guy. And he's a great guy, and he was friendly to everybody, and he stayed around the Chickies and Pete's and signed every autograph, took every picture. Just a great guy. And here's a
Yeah,
guy, he grew up in Camden, New Jersey.
And a local guy.
He walked on at Temple. He had no scholarship offers.
Wow.
He walked on at Temple and almost left because for the first year and a half, he hardly ever played. He practiced and sat on the bench, but by the third year, he came on, and in his fourth year, and he did graduate with a degree in criminal justice. In his fourth year, he was one of the players that they gave a single digit to. They give that to the leaders. And he was a first-round draft choice of the Arizona Cardinals. So there's a guy who went from walking on to being a top pick.
So that's really good for his body. So he's got like probably 2 more years of longevity in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Those
actually,
years he didn't play in college.
He reminds me so much of Von Miller. Similar body types.
Same.
But he doesn't
The
get
motor.
hurt. Yeah.
And the motor.
He doesn't
Motor's
get hurt.
amazing.
He was, yeah. I can't. I'm trying to think of. I haven't seen any Eagle. I mean, Reggie White was was the all-time. He might have been the greatest Eagle ever, right, Merrill? Him or Chuck Bednarik?
Well,
one of those two
you would
guys.
put him in that group. You could make a statement and say that Reggie White was the greatest defensive end who ever lived. You'll get debates from certain people. Lawrence Taylor was really a linebacker.
Correct.
But-
I mean, Reggie White was just his body size and his speed and that hump move that everybody was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
about all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody can really do it the way he did it, and they won't ever.
Yeah. I think he was the greatest Eagle ever. But you saw Bednarik way back in the day. You
Well,
were,
I saw.
You were in
Bednarik.
grade school.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid, but I
You
saw.
babysat him.
No. First of all, you have to realize Chuck Bednarik was a tail gunner in World War II, and he came out of the service and he went
I
to
remember
Penn
hearing that.
on a B-17,
But
right?
yeah, and by the time he came out of college, out of the University of Pennsylvania, and he wasn't the typical Penn student, he was probably 26 years old, and he was grizzled and he was tough, but he was not a defensive end. He was a linebacker when he played defense, and then he always played defense. He was an outside. Some people think he was a middle linebacker. He wasn't. He was an outside linebacker who raised havoc, and then he came in and he played center in 1960 when they won the championship.
He was kind of the Jeremiah Trotter on defense of his time. Real big guy that just kind of blew up the middle. Yeah, we got to go to a break, Merrill.
Again, he
We-
wasn't.
we've been-
He wasn't in the middle.
but-
he was an outside linebacker.
But he
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wound up in the middle all the time.
Yes,
didn't
if
he?
you
Yeah.
say so.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with Mike Mamula right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. It's all new and it's all for you. The heated deck at Chicky and Pete's on the Boulevard is now open. It's enclosed, heated, and perfect for the ultimate in-game experience or live music when the best local bands take stage. Like LeComp, Fat Mez, or Jameson. Check our website for the band schedule. The heated deck at Chicky and Pete's on the Boulevard is now open every Thursday through Sunday. Chickies and Pete's.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true, whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here. Grow here. Stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon till 2 a.m.
All tires aren't the same, and neither are all tire dealers. Michelin tires offer safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. B.F. Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Trust the tire experts at CJ's Tire and Automotive in Fairless Hills. They'll get you in and out in no time, and their everyday low prices on B.F. Goodrich and Michelin tires can't be beat. CJ's Tire and Automotive. Better, faster, and more affordable. Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are. You're listening to the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA, right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, seen live at WBCBSports.com.
We got to ask Mike.
I almost put us on 94 WIP.
Thanks.
Here we go.
Thank you, God.
That's what happens when you work for multi-stations.
Hey, Merrill, we got to ask Mike. One of the guys that was coaching the Eagles when he was there just got a job. Sean Payton, right?
Sean Payton, right?
Okay. How well did you know him during?
I didn't know him really
didn't?
at all. He was young. He was, I think, quarterback's coach at that point.
Right. He was quarterback.
And I don't think he stayed very long.
No.
He was only here for maybe a year or maybe two
If
at the most.
Aren't you glad I asked? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But
listen, he did a very, very good job, no doubt about it, with the Saints.
Oh, yeah. Amazing job, especially with Breeze and bring the Super Bowl in New Orleans. It's amazing.
It will be interesting, gentlemen, to see how he does with the Denver Broncos, because that is a bare roster, and he still needs. Well,
I don't know.
We'll see. You think Russell Wilson's going to come back?
I do.
Or do you think Russell Wilson is shot?
I would say they probably, if there was something available, they may grab it. But the leadership at the Broncos is amazing, and either way, they're going to make him succeed. I think.
You think so?
I believe so.
I mean, for all those years that John Elway, who was a great quarterback, ran that team, they struggled.
I know it's probably not a lack.
I mean, they did have the Super Bowl when Peyton Manning came up there for 1 year and they won it.
Correct.
But in recent years they've been a struggling franchise.
Yeah, I mean it's been hard to watch, but I don't think Russell Wilson's done, but I guess time is going to have to tell.
I don't think he's done either. I think that Nathaniel Hackett. I don't know what kind of offense that was. Do you? I mean, it was like just throw the ball up and then after you lose the game, say, I shouldn't have done this.
He was the offensive coach for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and Rodgers certainly did well under him.
He ran whatever plays he wanted. Rodgers did. He did. He did.
But he was hired in Denver, Mike, on the basis of what he did in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers said great things about him.
Well, unfortunately, he didn't bring Aaron Rodgers with him.
Well, that's why he's now hired by the New York Jets, right?
That's the line of the season.
He ends up with the Jets, and the feeling is the Jets want him to bring Aaron Rodgers to New York.
That would be something.
Could you see that?
I could definitely see that last hurrah in big New York. I think that would be great for him.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, D'Amico Ryans ends up in Houston.
He got the job?
He did get the job.
That's great.
That's what they're reporting. I hope he does well. I think they are a miserable franchise. They brought in our friend, I don't know if you knew David Culley. Did you know David Culley?
Yes, he was receivers, I think.
He was receivers with the Eagles.
Yep.
And David and I are close friends.
He's a nice guy.
We used to golf together quite a bit. David is a great golfer and a wonderful coach. And he went to Houston last year and won 4 games with a terrible roster. Won 4 games, and they fired him. And then they brought in Lovie Smith, and he struggled this year, and they fired him. That's 2 coaches in 2 years. Usually when you get into these coaching carousels, you've got a bad franchise, and nothing ever works. Now, they have departed from that and hired a previous successful coach in Sean Payton. But they've got a lot of work to do. They really do.
Houston has Sean
No.
Payton?
Sean Payton went to. I mean, they
D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans. Sean Payton went to Denver.
Correct.
But with D'Amico Ryans there, I love D'Amico Ryans. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great leader. But are they going to give him a chance?
They're going to have to give him a chance. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have everybody's ear on that team. Everyone's going to listen to him. And so if they fail, it's really going to be all on him. And when they do succeed, it's going to be on him as well.
Well, the one thing he will be able to do there, I believe, is draft a quarterback. He does not have the first pick in the draft. He has the second. And the first pick in the draft is currently owned by the Chicago Bears, who are not going to draft a quarterback. In fact, I would be shocked if Chicago doesn't trade out of that number 1 spot for a bunch of things, for a franchise who wants to step up and take either C.J. Stroud from Ohio State or Bryce Young from Alabama.
That really, everything there sounds exactly what it should be, to be honest with you. I mean, with everything going on in Chicago, they have Fields, and he was putting up, I just kind of know because of like fantasy numbers. He's putting up crazy fantasy numbers, so sounds like he's really doing a great job there, but everything else around him is still good.
I think he has to become a more consistent passer. Jalen Hurts went out to California for the entire summer last year and worked with Tom House, who's considered a quarterback guru, and they worked on some of his mechanics, and this year he became a very accurate passer. And he also, the big thing with Hurts this year, Bob, I think, was his decision-making.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, and in terms of the run-pass options and that, I mean, he opened up the whole field. The defense they were in those +1 schemes where you have to have like a spy or somebody shadowing him all the time, and it takes away from the coverage. And that opens up the whole field when Jalen Hurts runs. And it also opens up the run game. Miles Sanders, have you noticed that when Jalen is not playing, when it's another quarterback, Miles doesn't get all those yards, you know?
No.
Neither does Kenny Gainwell.
They get key right on them.
I mean, it's amazing. He opens it up, and he opens it
does.
up for the receivers, too. So they call it the and or the
plus one.
The plus one.
And it seems like, to your point, Fields could potentially have that same ability.
Yeah, he could.
That's what I thought.
Change the game.
I think his mechanics need to improve. That's the
I
big
didn't
knock
really
on
watch
him.
him
But
much.
I mean, he's real explosive.
Oh, he's talented. There's no doubt about that. So, but they're not going to draft a quarterback. But chances are, they're going to trade that pick.
I don't know. Yeah.
Why?
Because
There's a
lot of good players at
That's
the top
thing.
of the draft.
When I asked Bob, the thing Bob says more than anything else is,
I don't know. I don't know.
You can ask him. You can ask him anything. I don't know. He says.
Hey,
All right.
I think I'm going to the Super Bowl too.
Okay.
I just got noticed.
That you're going to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. They're allowing you out of the house.
Well,
You're on leave.
no, not
do
that.
you have to
yeah.
report in every so many
Oh
hours?
yeah. But I can get a weekend pass. Big game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm fading in and out of here, but I'm not so sure. You say that they're not going to draft a quarterback. Okay.
The Bears are not going to draft.
They're
going
to keep that pick. I think they're going to keep the pick anyway. Yeah.
Why? Why? If you were the Bears and you're sitting in the number one spot in the draft and you don't want a quarterback, why would you not? Trade
Because
to
everybody knows.
So guess what? Everybody has their price.
Right. Well,
Depends on what's presented to them.
I agree.
So I think that what it really boils down.
But
to.
everybody
they're
knows
going to-
that they're not
hey.
going to draft a quarterback. So why would you know?
Because they're going
they'll
to
say,
they're going
"Go
to
ahead
trade
and-"
to somebody
They'll
in the
have a
top
bid.
in the
Bidding
top
board.
12 or 15.
Yep.
That's going to give them multiple picks and a top 15 pick to move into that first spot.
It makes sense.
And maybe other assets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I don't disagree with that, but everybody kind of knows that they don't need a quarterback, right, Merrill?
Right, but
So then the number one isn't worth as much
But
at that point.
it is because there will be several teams competing against each other
To get
that number one
There's
pick.
some great defensive players in this draft, tackles and ends, and do they need that kind of help? Absolutely.
Yeah, but the
You
Bears
want to take a chance on losing that? You drop down to 10 to get a 27th pick
No,
in next year.
they need the picks.
31st and
the
a
Bears
second,
are a team
yeah.
with a lot of needs, and they need a number of good draft picks. That's what they need.
Well, if you're going to do that, then you don't want to get out of the top 5 because you'll miss out on the real premium talent.
Okay.
That's why I think they're going to keep the pick. But,
We'll see.
Yeah.
He's usually wrong, by the way.
Because he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. You don't. You got to say it again. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do we have to take
That's
a
what
break?
I do,
All right,
yeah.
We're going to take a break, and maybe he'll learn something in the next 60 seconds. We'll be back right
That's
after
what
this.
Google's for.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. It's all new and it's all for you. The heated deck at Chicky and Pete's on the Boulevard is now open. It's enclosed, heated, and perfect for the ultimate in-game experience or live music when the best local bands take the stage. Like LeComte, Fat Mez, or Jameson. Check our website for the band schedule. The heated deck at Chicky and Pete's on the Boulevard is now open every Thursday through Sunday. Chickies and Pete's.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for autopay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
You are not just building a company. You are helping to build your community. For 150 years, Penn Community Bank has been strengthening our region, serving as a trusted partner and resource for businesses like yours. Our team of business bankers can get you where you need to go. Real relationships, expert advice, swift solutions to power your growth. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Enjoy a world of Italian wine and cuisine in nearby Philadelphia at Grand Cafe La Cola. This Italian landmark cafe offers a wide variety of Italian options for both lunch and dinner, and before you leave, try their award-winning gelatos. Offering an online market for your favorite meats, cheeses, coffee, and much more, it's Grand Cafe La Cola website at grandcafelacola.com. Call them today at 215-568-5600. That's 215-568-5600. Or visit them at their flagship location at 1716 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. The world of Italian cuisine is only a 30-minute drive away at Grand Cafe La Cola.
Fall into relaxation at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. For an introductory price of just $69.95, enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. They even have specialty services such as a pumpkin facial or their signature hot stone massage. Restore, relax, and reset at one of Hand and Stone's 57 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, for an introductory price of just $69.95. Call or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon till 2 a.m.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com. Have you or a family member been involved in an accident? If so, you need to call an experienced lawyer you can trust. You need to call the personal injuries lawyers at Velter, Urofsky, Zoftis, and Sokolson. If you or someone you know has been in an automobile, motorcycle, truck, slip and fall, or drunk driving accident, contact Velter, Urofsky, Zoftis, and Sokolson. Call 215-969-3004. Again, that number is 215-969-3004.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And now it is time for this week's injury review, brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689. That's 215-806-3689. Well, you're the man with the injury report.
Here we
Bob
go.
Grotz.
Hey,
don't tell us you don't know.
they are all healthy. Lane Johnson even came out of that game in good shape.
Well, in as good a shape as he could come out with.
And
a
he's
torn
got a couple
abdomen.
weeks, yeah, and he's got a couple weeks to take off. The Chiefs are the ones that have the injury problems, and the biggest of which is Patrick Mahomes. He was hopping around on that foot. It's his plant foot, his right foot.
Yep.
The tape. If you're a defensive guy, just look for the tape, the guy with the most tape on his foot, and twist it or whatever, yeah. Because that's the key to the game, putting him on the ground.
Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes, even with the problem that he had on his foot, moved well the other night. He ran down the right sideline, and then he took the hit with the 15 yards tacked on for a personal foul. But Patrick Mahomes still plays well.
This is a different defense.
He barely
right?
had a good hit on his leg. As soon as you get a really good hit on that leg, it's going to really start upsetting him. He's going to be aggravated, and he's probably going to be out of the game. I mean, 2 for 2 maybe.
How much do you like this Eagles pass rush, Mike, against him?
I love
75%. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, and another thing I was thinking about, I don't know how much spying they're going to do on him. You know, how are
on
they
Mahomes,
gonna,
right?
on Mahomes,
Yep.
how they're going to view that injury, and then are they going to not spy him until he burns them?
Excellent point. Yeah.
Or
Or
who
double
knows?
Kelsey, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he's got back spasms too. He had a
Listen,
great game
at
for a
this
guy hurt.
point, everybody has something. After 16, 17 games, you're hurting somewhere.
But fortunate for the Eagles, they had a week off before last game and a week off after
Yeah,
this game.
that really works out
So that
well.
helps.
Yeah.
And they had Avonte Maddox back this
Yeah.
week.
Hey, my toe, my second toe on my left foot is still hurting.
Whose?
Mine.
That doesn't matter.
I walked into a
It doesn't-
gate
it
in the
doesn't-
parking lot.
but
at
that's
the
good
night.
luck.
It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with your writing.
It was totally swollen. Yeah.
Now, if your fingers were hurting, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
your toes are.
I got a trick finger too.
Bob,
yeah.
you become Mr. Irrelevant with these injuries.
Oh,
totally
no.
irrelevant.
Please don't compare me to Brock Purdy. Yeah, who's a really nice guy, but come on, man. I mean, that game plan with him against the
Well-
Eagles pass rush, I still can't.
None of it made any sense.
Yeah, it was criminal.
But yet we're talking about a great defensive coordinator. We are one of the best, and he's a head coach today because of what he did. I mean, DeMeco Ryans is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league.
Yeah, and that defense every week, it was something to see. Like the last couple games, I really was able to focus on. It seemed like every team, and the Eagles kind of fell into this as well, where they were only passing on the flats. It was like they couldn't get anything going on in the middle at all.
Yeah, they took that away from them.
Each last three, the Cowboys, they didn't do anything.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, and how about Kyle Shanahan? I mean, he took those challenges home with him to San Francisco. I mean, he should have challenged that catch by Devontae Smith.
Do you know what? I'm
Yeah.
watching on TV. They didn't show it.
No,
Like
they
they show
didn't.
everything else. They didn't show it. There was not a timeout. I mean, it was just in the flow.
I didn't know. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't see it with your naked eye.
No. So that was great.
I saw it.
Well, that's because you have
You saw
X-ray
it.
vision.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't see this
I
card
did
when
see
I hold
that,
it
yeah.
up. Look. But no, the fact is
I saw it,
he
yeah.
got up, he went back to the line of scrimmage, they got the next play off, and that could happen again this week.
Kyle Shanahan, yeah, he had a bad.
Are there any
oh.
extra cameras on the Super Bowl field?
Oh my God, yes.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. They have their maximum cameras on a Super Bowl game.
Does that mean more wires over the field for the
Well,
gunners.
that's the Sky Cam.
I can't blame them for that, though. They were watching the game, the players.
Yeah.
They weren't watching that.
Let me
so
ask you something else. That
I can't
that
blame
thought.
them. I mean,
Is this going to be an outdoor game or a dome game?
It's going to be outdoors. It's February, and unless there's a monsoon coming.
don't they always
Yeah.
close it for
No,
the Super
they
Bowl?
they always
Okay.
close it if you're playing the Arizona Cardinals because
Right.
they want to trap the noise in. But this is not the choice of the Cardinals. This is the choice of the league, and I think they want it open for the Goodyear blimp shots.
That, and I wonder as far as the sun at that point during the day, how it's going to affect either sideline, if there's any competitive advantage with that.
Yeah, it'll be at 4:30 their time. You're right. There could be a problem.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe sun coming down. It would. Be
I like
setting,
outdoor
right?
football. I hate domes. I
Yeah.
do not like domes.
One time I was walking into the Superdome as a BC player. We walked in.
In New Orleans?
In New Orleans, and one of our offensive linemen looked up and said, "Wow," he's like, "as high as you could jump, you're never going to touch the ceiling."
Well,
He went on to have a long career in the NFL. No,
Had he played a lot without a helmet?
One of them.
But, the Superdome, I always call the Super Dump. I don't like that one. I don't like domes. I don't like the AT&T Stadium. Although one time
Oh,
the
I like
Eagles
that.
played there with the dome opened.
And that
it
was
great.
nice.
And the best one is Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. They take that dome back. There's no grids going across the way. It just looks like an outdoor stadium.
yeah, that's one of the stadiums I haven't been in. But yeah, I mean, I
That's
like
that's
the.
great.
What's wrong with the Cowboys Stadium other than the Cowboys?
I
playing
don't
in it?
like it. It's my son nicknamed it a monument to excess. I mean, you have cars being displayed, dancing girls up on poles. It's not. They have when the players come out, they have bars on either side. The people are banging against the glass.
Some people like that kind of stuff.
Yes,
I
some
don't think
people
it's
do.
the worst thing. Yeah, I mean,
I just don't think it's football.
All right.
It's one of my least favorite stadiums. Although it's not as bad as the dump in Landover, Maryland, where the Commanders play,
boy.
and then they changed the Miami Stadium, Hard Rock, to it's a mess.
Oh,
it's
no.
it's not nice at all.
what was your favorite stadium, Mike?
I'd probably say the Vet.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Now
There
wait,
you go. Yeah.
you love the
I
vet.
loved it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it hard when you fell on it?
Oh, it was terrible. It was a basketball court, spray paint green.
Really, it felt like that, huh?
Did you
It did.
park underneath?
No, that's where big timers like you used to park.
No, but I stopped parking there when I saw somebody end up with a piece of concrete on top
Oh,
of their car.
no.
Yeah. It was falling apart, yeah.
Yeah, no, that place was. I have a million stories, but
Yeah.
whatever.
My favorite stadium to work at is Giant Stadium. It's now called MetLife Stadium. I mean, the field is beautiful. The sight lines are great. The scoreboards are large behind the benches. You don't have to look up to find the down, distance, timeouts. But in terms of a thrill to go in, every time I go in and go up to my broadcast booth, I just love Lambeau Field. That is
Yeah.
everything that football is about.
So it was funny. We played there, and I was getting ready for the game, and I had a door next to my locker. So I'm just doing whatever I have to do to get ready, and I hear some rustling going on behind the door, and I open the door. There was 2 cheeseheads. So I shut the door really quick, and I got security. They got stuck. They were doing whatever they were doing. They got stuck in the bowels, and next thing you know, they were getting escorted out of
man,
the Eagles
Oh
locker
my!
room.
Oh really? Oh, that's
Pretty good.
crazy. That's crazy. But you go to Lambeau Field and you can almost sense the glory days of Lombardi. It has that feel to it.
There's definitely that feel to it. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
I went
special.
down, I went to the place where Bob Lilly scooped out the frozen tundra for that goal line stand, and Bart Starr went over. But after that, man, after that, I didn't really feel the spirits anymore.
I think
So,
it's a great place.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back right after this. Let's take a break.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. It's all new and it's all for you. The heated deck at Chicky and Pete's on the Boulevard is now open. It's enclosed, heated, and perfect for the ultimate in-game experience or live music when the best local bands take the stage. Like LeComp, Fat Mez, or Jameson. Check our website for the band schedule. The Heated Deck at Chicky and Pete's on the Boulevard is now open every Thursday through Sunday. Chickies and Pete's.
I SEPTA Philly.
I SEPTA Philly. I SEPTA Philly.
I ride the Broad Street line. Do you know how expensive parking is?
I do not have time to deal with traffic.
Because it's better for the environment.
I ride SEPTA all the time.
Monday through Friday, and whenever game day is.
I'm out the door and at my stop by 7:30.
I catch up on work when I ride.
I check Twitter, text my buddies.
I watch sports highlights. Or lowlights.
For real Philly fans, SEPTA is the hometown way to go. Ride with us at iseptaphilly.com.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
For more than 125 years, the Philadelphia Protestant Home has been family to seniors living independently or in personal care and skilled nursing. PPH also provides peace of mind, security to eligible residents who no longer can afford their living expenses. PPH offers spacious studio 1- and 2-bedroom apartments with balcony, patio, and garden view options. Call now to schedule a tour, 215-697-8000, or visit us on the web at pphfamily.org. At PPH, we're family.
Enjoy a world of Italian wine and cuisine in nearby Philadelphia at Grand Cafe La Cola. This Italian landmark cafe offers a wide variety of Italian options for both lunch and dinner, and before you leave, try their award-winning gelatos. Offering an online market for your favorite meats, cheeses, coffee, and much more, it's Grand Cafe La Cola website at grandcafelacola.com. Call them today at 215-568-5600. That's 215-568-5600. Or visit them at their flagship location at 1716 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. The world of Italian cuisine is only a 30-minute drive away at Grand Cafe La Cola.
Fall into relaxation at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. For an introductory price of just $69.95, enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. They even have specialty services such as a pumpkin facial or their signature hot stone massage. Restore, relax, and reset at one of Hand and Stone's 57 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, for an introductory price of just $69.95. Call or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com. All tires aren't the same, and neither are all tire dealers. Michelin Tires offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. B.F. Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Trust the tire experts at CJ's Tire and Automotive in Fairless Hills. They'll get you in and out in no time, and their everyday low prices on B.F. Goodrich and Michelin tires can't be beat. CJ's Tire and Automotive. Better, faster, and more affordable.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are here at Chickies and Pete's in Warrington, Pennsylvania. Merrill Reese, Bob Grotz, and Mike Mamula.
Merrill.
It is time now for this week's Penworth Financial Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503, 267-997-4503, or visit penworth.com.
Keys to the bye week, right?
No, let's go keys to the game.
To the game?
And then you can give them next week with
Oh,
Billy.
okay. All right. I was going to say keys to the bye week.
Okay.
Make sure all your clothes are clean and everything, and get that suit pressed, have it ready to go. Start packing now. Don't wait too long. Okay. Get to the quarterback. That's simple for the Eagles. Get to the quarterback, and it's over. It will be over because he's not 100%. I don't see the Chiefs stopping that run game of the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is healthy. Get to the quarterback. It's over.
Mike?
Do what they do. You know, Jalen's going to be out there, you know, hopefully their same type of game plan they've been running throughout the entire season where they pick the spots, the right spots to run him, and then next thing you know, over his head, touchdown.
I think you make sense. I think Bob's assessment is unrealistic because you don't get to,
That's a surprise, yeah.
you do not get to Patrick Mahomes very often. I don't care if they tape his legs together. He will hop out of there and throw behind his back or under his ear or bounce it off his head and get it to a receiver. He is a magician.
I didn't think of that, taping his legs together. That's a good idea.
He finds ways to win. He is a great quarterback. He is this. Mike, I'm going to make a statement, and you can tell me if you agree. I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's a top 5 quarterback. I think that, honestly, I believe that Patrick Mahomes is the single most dangerous quarterback in the NFL.
I agree. I agree with you. If you were to put restraints on Jalen and there are restraints on Mahomes, I think Mahomes is going to come out on top between the two of that, in that comparison.
That's a good way of putting it, too. That's interesting. Would Jalen Hurts be able to have? Would he have done what Mahomes did if he was playing the 49ers? If he was 75%.
Well, Jalen Hurts can play hurt. You'll remember the Bears game.
That's not the question.
He got hurt in the fourth quarter of the Bears game, and he continued to throw. He threw a ball 40 yards downfield to A.J. Brown, and then he wrapped up the game with a quick slant to A.J. Brown, which he rifled at about 90 miles an hour.
So he still can be effective.
Mahomes is a younger version of Aaron Rodgers, in my mind.
Yeah. But even more elusive.
More exactly, but the same skill set for the most areas.
Sees everything, different throwing angles.
But
great decisions.
Mahomes is more elusive than he was, but Aaron still used to move around quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs lose a little bit of their effectiveness by being without Tyreek Hill. I mean, he was as dangerous as a receiver as you'll find. I mean, he's in Miami now.
Right.
But their receivers in themselves, they're okay.
It's kind of like
Except
Rodgers.
for Kelsey, yeah.
Except for Kelsey. Now, Kelsey's not a wide receiver. How is he always open? He always seems to be open.
See, he's slithery out there. He's quick. He's deceivingly fast, and he's a lot bigger than most of those DBs, and it's just fun to watch him bowl people over.
Yeah, he's real athletic, and he has a chemistry with Mahomes that they just kind of look at each other, and they seem to know where the open spot's going to be, and that's where the ball goes, and Kelsey will be there too. That's a huge test. But like I said, Merrill, you get to Mahomes, and guess what? I think it will. I don't see how they can block him every down. I don't see how the Chiefs are going to do it. That offensive line is not that's not the Eagles' offensive line.
No, but you know what?
And they don't run the ball like the Eagles.
They're
either.
good. They've got a good center. The left side of their offensive line is very good. The right side is mediocre. Eagles are lucky that right from left to right, they're all good.
Pick your poison.
They're all good. They're really good. And I think that Jason Kelsey is playing at the top of his game. He hasn't shown any wear and tear.
Yeah, I think he's superhuman. I saw him probably like 3 years ago. He was talking about his ankles being sore. He's like, I don't know about next year. And then it's like 7 years later.
Yeah. I think he's coming back next year, too.
I'm not
no matter
sure.
what happens.
Mike, isn't there a time when it's smart to say enough is enough, to say, I've played so many years, a lot of them I've played with injuries, and if I want to enjoy the rest of my life, if I want to be able to get out of bed at 50 and not feel pain, it would be better to stop right now. I mean, these are guys with 14 years or 15 years in the NFL, him and Brandon Graham.
You never really see that unless they're kickers, because you could kick probably until you're 60.
Yeah.
But those positions that these guys are playing, I mean, it's so intense. Every single play, practice, and your mindset, it's not going to stop you or slow you down from working out in the off season, slow you down from doing things. You're going to keep on going, and it's going to be terrible for the body.
Do you know that Brandon Graham is the longest tenured athlete, not on the Eagles, but in all of Philadelphia sports?
Oh.
Yeah, and he's in his 13th season, and I do think he'll come back. He needs one more season to tie Chuck Bednarik, longest tenure with the Eagles.
So what?
Oh, that's huge to him.
I don't know
that's
why.
A big
I mean,
deal to
it's
him.
nice. It's all that, but
Chuck Bednarik, possibly the greatest Eagle.
But that's not. He's not the greatest number of Eagles because of his games. It's because of how he played.
It's part
of
of
it. I mean,
that.
if he played 2 less years, he did play in 1960. He played on the championship teams of 49 and 60. So he played on the championship team spanning 3 decades.
Yeah, that's a huge age difference. That's like a whoops if you have a child.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon Graham will be 2 decades, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's another thing. Chuck Bednarik. Only Chuck Bednarik played in more decades and won Super Bowls than
again, I would rather
Brandon
see
Graham.
Brandon Graham finish this year as a Super Bowl champion and
That would be amazing.
say that's it.
And go off.
Go off. Absolutely.
He and Kelsey.
It's not going to be any better. It's not.
Okay.
I say that because I like both of those guys so much as people. They're 2 of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. I don't know that. I know you've met Jason. Have you met Brandon?
I've done some panel stuff with him before, so yeah, I've met him.
He's such a warm, genuine human being. He's never grumpy. He's never upset about anything. Here's a guy who came back in less than a year from an Achilles tendon.
That's
Isn't
insane.
that amazing?
That is amazing.
That's absolutely amazing. But he's great, and there are so many people so many terrific Eagles on this roster. I'll tell you, we talk about Miles Sanders having a great year. How about little Boston Scott? You give him the ball, he turns into a human bullet.
A touchdown in each of the playoff games.
Was
you
that
know?
the
Boston,
giant killer?
Right.
Yeah.
Every
I call him
game.
the giant killer because he does. He's got like 2/3 of his touchdowns against the Giants.
I used to love playing against the Giants too.
Did you?
I had like 2 3-sack games.
I remember a game you played. You had an amazing game at the vet against the Giants. An amazing game where I think you had a sack, a fumble recovery, a batted down pass. You were unstoppable, Mike Mamula.
I was in certain spurts.
But that was a great spurt. That was a great spurt. Well, we've come to the end of this hour, Mike. It's great. Thank you. You're a good friend. Thank you for coming.
I have one more question to ask
Okay,
him.
go ahead.
The question is this.
If you ask him a question, the answer will be, I don't know.
Do you think that Hassan Reddick has a chance to be Super Bowl MVP? Usually it's the quarterback, but
I certainly hope so.
Von Miller, I mean,
he after last game, that should have been the Super Bowl because he was the game last game.
Okay. All right.
I'll give you another 2 candidates, Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. Both of them have that capability too. But most likely,
Hurts or Reddick?
If the Eagles win, it's going to be Hurts.
Yeah.
If the Eagles win.
That's it.
Let's hope for Hurts.
Let's hope.
All
We're
right.
out of time. Thank you, Chris Ermer, for your usual great job. Bob, thank you again. And Mike Mamula, you're the best. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
For all of
Big
us, have a
Bob.
Good
great
to see you, Mike.
weekend.
Scoop.
And a week from Sunday, it's Super Bowl 57. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 AM, as well as 107.3 FM, and heard around the world at WBCB1490.com.